Hey guys, sorry I can't be there today. I wanted to make sure you didn't get behind. I wanted to show you one thing in TinkerCAD where you can begin creating circuits. Some of y'all, I know in my second block, Miss McMullen's homeroom, and my third block, Mr. Cooper's homeroom, have started creating their Arduinos on the breadboards, but I wanted to make sure y'all were able to start on your circuits for TinkerCAD. So Miss Williams' homeroom, this might be new to you to try to catch on. You see where I'm pointing over here on the left under circuits. So you've logged into TinkerCAD under your account using Google, and then you click circuits, and then create new circuit. Now you'll have to look in the book that's in the cabinet and look on page 24, and you'll see project 1 where you're just creating a simple LED. And over here on the right, under components, you'll see your Arduino. Click on that, and then click on the breadboard here with the Arduino, and then click over here in the middle of the screen. Might have to wait a second for it to pop up. Just do it once. If you get too many of them, then just click on the component that you want to erase and highlight it, and then click backspace. Okay, so if you want to rotate everything, there's a rotate button over here on the top left. See that? You can click that and it'll begin to rotate. Hit it a couple times and it should be in a right orientation, like in the book on page 24. Now, let's go back over here on the right to our basic components and choose the resistor. I clicked on it, now I'm dragging it freely. Now I could go ahead and just drop it right here and rotate it so that it looks more like the book. Okay, but be sure to change it to 220 ohms. So ohms is just a measure of resistance. You see how I'm changing it to ohms? It was on 1 kilo ohm, but you have to change the units and the number. So now I can go ahead and drag it over. And be sure that it clicks in to the plus over here. See the positive side where the red wire is? Okay, and then you have your LED. Again, I'm bringing that over, dropping it in, and then rotating it. Now this one's going to have to be rotated this way. I'll show you in just a second why. Now the top part of the wire needs to be in the same row as your resistor. Okay, so the number of the row doesn't matter as much, but you can follow that in the book if you'd rather and find the exact row. But you notice this says anode. That's the positive side. So you see how the positive current flows in along this part of the breadboard, and it goes through the resistor, across the row of the breadboard, into the anode, through the LED, into the cathode, so that's the negative side. All right, well then the last part is just to connect somewhere along this row, I'm on row 7, across to the left to the negative side. Now you may want to change that color to black. Generally black means negative and red means positive. Now when you think you're ready, click on Start Simulation, and it should turn on your LED. You see that? I'll stop the simulation. You can see it go off and start it, and you see it come back on. Okay, so go ahead and make sure you rename this project Project 1 LED. And that's capitalized, means light emitting diode. It's just a light. All right, when you've got that first project, part 1 done, you can click TinkerCAD in the top left, the big square, to go back to the main dashboard. And then you can duplicate it by clicking on Options. See that little gear? And click Duplicate. And then you can begin project 1 with adding the push button. And again, be sure to change the name each time because this is a copy of that first project. So now I'm going to call it Project 1 Push Button. And then you come over here to the right under Basic Components and choose that push button. And this one will also need to be rotated. There's actually a shortcut if you want to choose the letter R. It'll rotate it. I hit that a few times and that turns it around. Okay, so be sure to click that in along here. So you have to move some things around. You'll notice that there's the LEDs in different spots and the wires in different spots. So if you need to delete a component, like I'm going to click on the wire and the backspace, and that moves it out of the way. All right, we'll just follow the steps now on page 26 to finish up the push button. I hope you can get page 28 and 29 done also, the series and parallel circuit. And if you have already finished all those, like those in my second and third block, then go ahead and start project 2. You'll also have to do some coding at the end of that project. So after you've matched the picture for your Arduino and breadboard, adding all the LEDs, then you flip a couple of pages and you'll see a couple of pages of code. It's about 27 lines of code that you'll write. So for those who are going to do the code, you see here on the top side where it says code, and then you would choose text. Okay, so that's not for the push button or for the LED or anything from project 1. That's just for project 2. So I'm going to show you that real quick, one that's already completed and what it should do. So I'm going back to my main dashboard by clicking TinkerCAD, and then I'll just show you project 2, spaceship interface. Tinker this to open it up. Okay, you might have seen the code flash up there for a second. All right, this is the entire project 2 where it's going to count down with the light when I push the button. So if I show you the code real quick, you can see it's under the text. Originally it was under blocks and I had to change it to text. And I typed in all those lines of code and set it up so that when I click Start Simulation, the green light is on, and then I click the push button, and see how it counts down. That's it. All right, good luck. Text me or message me if you need to. Thanks.